Okay, so I have a new setup, which ideally means that I no longer have to fiddle around with third-party software or anything like that. I have um, my audio card, this guy right here. Boop. It's sitting on my or sitting under my camera. That's connected to a desktop mixer, which is then connected back into my computer, and OBS is reading the audio from that mixer. So basically, everything that I hear in Ableton gets shoved back in, and then this microphone is also connected to the mixer. So I don't have to worry about any kind of weird feedback loops unless I just start playing with my speakers on and my microphone next to my speakers, and then I have a problem. Hopefully it won't come to that, though. So I can actually play piano and people can hear it. Does seem a little quiet, though, doesn't it? The problem is that I have a lot of volume knobs to manage right now, and I don't know which one's the best one to handle. So I'll figure it out. I did some tests yesterday when I was setting this up. Or was it on Monday? I did some tests recently while I was setting this up, and it's getting there. There's a lot of struggling to make sure it worked at all. I mean, theoretically, I knew that it worked just from the signal chain, but I didn't know how it would work. And it's getting there. And I have to like take a picture once I get it all set up. So if it, for any reason my dials got twiddled around, I would not have to do trial and error to figure it all out again, which would be terrible. So I think that sounds good overall. And yeah. So I'm not sure if anybody's popped into the Twitch channel yet. It looks like somebody's in there. That's cool. Hi, random people who are in here. Hope you're doing well. I need to figure out a better way of handling all this. I did recently install something for OBS which like reads web pages and can do animations, which is nice because you'll get a little pop-up for my social media right there once every like 10 minutes or something. So at the end of the video, I won't have to remember how to tell everybody to visit my YouTube and my Twitch and my Twitter and all the other stuff. So the challenge, going back to the composition quest log, this guy, the challenge this week is called a minor challenge. Complete a piece in a minor key. It doesn't have to be any more complicated than writing a piece in major key, and you should feel comfortable with both. The problem is that I write almost all of my songs in the minor key, so I'm thinking about changing this to the major key. and working on it from there. Because working in the major key is actually pretty difficult for me unless I'm just doing regular like solo piano stuff, like all the stuff I was doing before. Like this is in the major key. And I mean I could do that for 2 minutes, but then the stream would be over pretty fast, wouldn't it? And I've been thinking about this one. I knew that it was coming up since last week, and I don't really have a ton of ideas. So hopefully something comes to me over the next 2 hours, and we have a good session. Because it's always fun when these are successful, and I'm not just sitting on my ass for 2 hours. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that I need to, go away. That I need to worry about. I don't need that open. Need live open. Skype is impossible to close. Okay, it's 4 o'clock. Let's get this party started, I guess, and hopefully something comes out of it. I'm gonna delete this because I don't think I want to do piano. I might, but the first thing I was thinking of is kind of like pop music and their affinity for the very basic chords. I don't have a name for this song yet, so I'm not gonna. I tab it to Control S like every 2 seconds, and I realized I don't have a actual file for this yet, so our name. So like most things, I can just start with a saw, a super saw. Excuse me. And see if this yields anything. Oh, is that really loud? It's not much louder than my voice. Okay. The one thing that I was worried about with doing this is that my voice would either be drowned out or that just the volume levels in general. So actually I am going to bring that piano back just because I can mess with thoughts. I mean, that's the super basic chord progression. 1, 4, 5, 1. And I mean, there's a lot you can do with that. There's like substitutions. So you could go 1, 4, 5, 6, or rather. I don't know. I could start with something just really basic and cheesy, just but I don't know. See, I've been worried about this one just because I feel like everything I do in the major key sounds weird. And that's not entirely true. Because most of the Unearth Initiative was actually in the major key. So I'm going to clear all this out and start with just one channel. When in doubt, I've found that one thing that I can do just to kind of get a jump start is just to create one instrument that actually has like a little bit of character and feel to it. So just pumping a handful of effects and other things on it can help. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just setting up some basic things. like reverb, and I'm gonna do a little bit of reverb on the channel. I have a little bit of an idea of what I want. This is essentially just going to be a little bit of a beep and a boop, and put some saturation on it to give it a little bit of an edge, and that is a lot more than a little. What is the delay on this? 26 seconds. Okay, that would explain that. um. Feedback. So one measure, two measures. I'm just going to create a two measure loop. And I'm thinking initially, okay, so that'd be C4. Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out a tempo in my head. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing yet. Okay, so ideally, I don't want to hammer the fact that it's in major, and I think that's one of the problems that I have with the major scale is that it's so identifiable. You know, it has a very specific sound to it, and I as much as I like songs in the major scale, and I'm not trying to say that they're bad. I'm just saying that I just can't vibe with it the same way. I mean, I like that feeling though. It's super big and spacey and airy. Um, and what this is doing right here is it is using the major scale without using the C major chord. Um, and I think that that's important because it's less obvious what you're doing, and dealing with chord inversions and all this other stuff I think will help kind of create a little bit more interesting feeling to this song. I like that it's shorter. I like that it's really like poppy rather than because this feels more like an atmospheric addition to the song rather than like a lead. And that's okay. And maybe this song kind of ends up as a chill out slash ambient track. And that's not a problem. I kind of want to start doing like an ambient song, like more than a 2-hour track, like have an ongoing series where I just work on an ambient song. Sometimes ambient songs they take like a couple hours, sometimes they take a couple days, you know. Sorry, I'm adjusting my shirt cuz I'm cold. It snowed a lot here over the past couple days, which is cool, I guess. And really just the past day. Um, I don't like how the bass line goes. It feels really stale. And maybe I just move it up like that. That should be fine. See, look at that. Social media. Whoop. Right there. Glad that works. I did not know. I didn't want to wait the 15 minutes for it to pop up or something. I guess it's just 10 minutes. Maybe it's 15. So when it comes to that, I might want to... Yeah, so rather than dealing with that's not right. What do I want? The 7th. That's going too high, so I might just have to do... And as a positive thing, I did get my guitar and everything working, which is one of the... It's one of the main reasons why I needed, like, required to reset all this up. Because I needed to be able to record, and I'm not a good guitar player. So, I might be able to add something like this in there. I don't know why it was clicking. Maybe my cable's loose. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of ideas right now, and it's already been like 10 minutes, so I have a feeling that once I get a little bit more involved with this, I can start seeing if there's anything else I can add. So I'm going to look into Absinthe and just see if there's anything in here. And again, I apologize for how small this is. I'm a little out of sorts today. I apologize. I've been shoveling for like the last 12 hours. It's finally let up this morning, but boy, it was a lot of shoveling. So failing this, I can always just make my own synth, but sometimes you can find some interesting... Yeah, that's something. It's definitely something that I struggle with here. It's just playing chords, and you'd think that it's like just as easy as the minor scale, but it's just everything sounds so cheesy. And I guess I can't be too critical, like... Also, this chord does not seem right. Yeah. That would explain why it seems weird. That's one mystery solved. I was wondering why nothing sounded right on that last one. The other thing I can do is I can just create some soundscapes, like with this. Yeah, I like that. I want to modify this a little bit. I think that the envelopes, yeah, these envelopes are huge, which is cool, but I want the attack to be a little bit more pronounced. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just bring the attack in for these by a couple seconds, actually. It's like a 6-second attack. And I want to see what effects are on here just to make sure that I'm not going to step on any toes with the Valhalla reverb, because I want things to kind of be consistent. I want everything to kind of get pushed into the Valhalla just because it will give everything a little bit more. So this is a resonator, not a reverb. I just double checking the scale, spread, shape. So nothing in here. Okay. So another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to increase this to 8 bars. And I'm going to re-record those chords, which there was some. Well, the first one was just this, like a pedal tone. And I'm gonna keep that just for the intro. So maybe I'll just go like this, and so it was do. Yeah, see, that's too much. I have to kind of limit myself to probably. This camera's pointing. I'm distracting myself, but I don't care. It's like I was almost off the camera. I need to figure that out. But at least I have a nice box for the timer. I'm really not on track today. I'm sorry. It's been one of those weeks. See, I don't want to hit that chord, so. Or rather, I don't want to hit a major chord. I just want to imply it. So let's try that again. Especially that one. Okay. So now if I take this and I just kind of chop it up over. What do we got? And I was thinking about this when I was playing it. I can double that down just to give it a little bit more of an intro and get rid of the metronome. This last chord doesn't gel with me. something that I'm thinking with this is to give it a little bit more space. What I want to do is I'm actually going to set up an auto pan for its intended purposes this time, or intended purpose this time, to actually pan the sound slowly left and right. However, what I want to do is I put this in an audio effect rack. I only want to pan the top end. I don't want to pan the bottom end because the bottom end is like the center. It's like where it should stay as the center. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create an auto filter and just cut it off at, let's say, 3000 kilohertz, and then I'm going to create another auto filter and I'm going to cut it off at 3000 kilohertz as well. So the bottom half, this part, it's not processed, but the top half is processed with the auto pan, and that should give it a little bit of movement, which is really nice. So what I did earlier is I muted this top note here just because I like the idea of things kind of just swells up, and then it kind of diminishes down. And then there's going to be a break, and then it'll loop over again. So this, I feel, is a pretty solid start to something. I can't... I mean, it's not as upbeat and jazzy as some of my other ones, but I like making ambient stuff too. That's kind of where I started. So there's definitely a lot of things that I can do with this too, even if I just take some airport ambience that I stole from an airport like years ago, waiting for a friend at a terminal. And I don't know. I should stop apologizing for, just doing whatever, because honestly, this is just what I like to do. And not every week is going to be super hardcore, EDM drops like it was last week. Which, I would hardly consider that super hardcore, but whatever. So usually with field recordings, so I was saying, usually with field recordings, you need to cut out the bottom end, because there's a lot of low rumble that's just picked up by the room noise. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take... Oh, I already did take an EQ8. I'm just going to chop it like that. Make sure that it's not too noticeable that you're just chopping it. You still want it to sound natural, of course. And then I'm going to add a compressor just to bring that up to a level that can be heard. And then I'm actually going to bring down the volume a little bit. So that seems counterintuitive to like raise or up the compression just to lower the volume, but the compression does kind of squish things together a little bit more. Volumetrically isn't the right word, but it's the one that came to mind. And I don't know if I'm going to stick with this sample. I mean, this is starting to sound really spacey, so I might... there's junk on my keyboard. I might go with something else. But moving back to this. The other nice thing about using field recordings is it just makes everything more present. Like and I've talked about this with percussion before, where it just fills in that top end, and that top end is super important, even though it's not often heard. The top end is just really useful for making stuff feel bigger and more spacious. So I'm going to do a little bit of a, yeah. Okay, so that's definitely something. I'm thinking about messing around with the chords some more, and there's two things that I feel like needs to happen. More chord progressions, or at least a B section with a different chord progression, and at least one or two more melodic layers. Either a lead, like a piano would sound really good, especially a piano with a huge reverb tail, so it just sounds like it's gigantic. And even a very synthy lead would fit in really well here too. I like the idea of just adding some tones from the bass, and the problem is then I'd have to actually play bass, and I'm still self-conscious about that, which kind of is dumb, but you know, I don't even know like all the notes, which is part of the problem. So it'd be C, A, A, then I would go down to F, should be yeah. That should be right. Then hold on. Yeah, that could work. Let's pull in a guitar rig real quick and toss a bass amplifier on here so I can actually hear it. And I like the idea of actually moving up an octave. So it would be oops. I don't know. It's worth a try. I just need a little bit more texture, and I do love how organic instruments sound. Okay, there's something going on with my cable. I don't know, maybe you can't hear that. But or maybe it's this because my headphone cable is always in the way. It has to be. It's going to be like a recurring theme on this damn stream. Come on, get out of the way. That's forgive me for that. Okay, let's try it now. that can be fixed. So that's something. What? Just like need like wireless headphones or something. But that introduces a whole new host of problems. So I was like looking at how on or off beat I was for all this. Is that popping just coming from the... I don't understand where that popping's coming from. I don't know if it's just on my end or if it's something that's happening for everything. It might be absinthe that's causing problems. But it's kind of annoying. Yeah, I think the piano could work really well. I want to make it a little bit of a harsher tone. Yeah, because I want the high harmonics to ring out a lot more, which is what this reverb is geared to do. I'm not really sure what I'm going to play, but velocities are kind of messed up. It's a latency issue over here because I had to reconfigure everything. So let's just up the compensation to 50 milliseconds, and hopefully it's starting to sound like a latency issue, just like there's so much happening. That kind of felt like it made it worse for a second. Yeah, I mean, I can see the CPU bouncing all over the place. Yeah, it's probably absinthe. Or maybe not. Yeah, I'm not sure what is making that noise, but it's really starting to bug me. It's like I rebooted my computer recently. trying to think of a name for this, and I I like it when the names for the song hints at a story, but the listener still has to figure out what that story is by listening to the song. So I'm thinking that where did I put this to our tracks? Um so I'm thinking that this is definitely a space themed song, or at least it feels spacey, but it also feels kind of melancholy, especially for the major key, which, big surprise. Um so I'm thinking something like Terminal B, um Shuttle to Mars or something like that, where it's like it sounds super Terminal B just sounds really boring and drab, and then like One Way Shuttle to Mars, it just like completely turns it around, and it turns something that like is fantastical right now into something that's really boring, and so I don't know, like it's just weird. I hate using the word juxtaposition because it makes me feel snobby, but that's basically what it is. Sorry for the clickiness. Hopefully that'll fix the problem. Nope. So I'm adjusting some volumes, and maybe that's the issue. And I'm not completely sold on this piano bit either. Um, so what I'm doing is I'm just rearranging some of those chords at the bottom, and I'm gonna just re-record some more. So, no. When I say copy, you paste. Okay, well, I'll just do it this way then. I really hate how Guitar Rig handles its like window paging. It tends to always get in the way. So when it comes to this, I don't know. That's not right. Okay. So stop it. Stop it. Or just play forever. That works too. Jeez. I don't like that piano. So I'm going to try something a little bit more along that line. It's really hard to get timing down when everything is so... there's a way to turn down the tone volume for the metronome, which I'm doing now, because I really hate the sound of that metronome, but man, it's going to help. Give it a try. So there's some wrong notes in there for sure. There was less clicking that I noticed anyway. I was a little focused. Of course, right when I say that, now it's just clicking. And there I kind of lost where I was. Just a little. But it was enough. I need to get rhythm, man. One of those notes is super loud. Stop it. What I want to know is why I use the pedal at all for these. Because it's really annoying, and I wish I didn't. It's just as easy to stretch these out over, a couple bars. Because I didn't use the pedal here, did I? Oh, I did. Like a genius. Might as well delete it there too. Okay. Well, either there's nobody very talkative today or nobody's tuning in, and that's okay. I've kind of just been considering all my options myself lately for streaming, and I know that persistence is one of the largest contributing factors to not making it as much as just getting people interested in what you do. So regardless of whether people show up or not, I still plan on doing this at least for a couple months, and if participation dwindles and I don't even get views on YouTube or anything, then, that might change. But that turn is really pretty. I love deceptive cadences, which is what that was, because it was going like 1 to 5, and you'd think it would go back to 1. So that's what you're expecting, but instead it goes to 6, which is like 1, except it isn't. It has a lot of the same notes as the tonic, the root chord, but it doesn't fit in the same way. So it has a very different sound, specifically because it is a minor chord rather than a major chord. So these are too loud, and these are too quiet. So I'm just kind of reversing their roles when it comes to rhythm. And I kind of did this intentionally where there's this break, and I do kind of like it. That's what I'm looking for. So, the one thing I'm thinking with this is I don't know if I'm in love with this piano, or in the very least if I'm in love with the way it sounds right now. Let's see. I'm just seeing if there's any things I can mess around with in here that would help out a little bit. Give it a little bit more of a boost. I'm like tripling the reverb, so I took that off. That seems a little quieter. Carried away right here. No, next one. This should all be moved over by like a beat. Yeah. comes in just a little bit too early. Even for like my improv standards, it comes a little bit too early. Wah wah wah. Ugh. Stupid copy paste. So I mean, what I could do here is like, this is basically a song. It's not anything fantastical, but it's definitely something that's pretty and it's nice to listen to. And like extending the idea of the track name further, I could try to add another section where it's like lifting off from the moon base or wherever this is set, and that might be interesting, but I don't know, like, it would be interesting to mess with that and see if there's a way to like create the tension and feeling of moving upwards and outwards. And then it would be so I'm just trying to think of different chord progressions that might work for this. I like the descending. I think that could work pretty well. I don't know. It's like I don't feel like I half-assed this or anything, but I also feel like I have an hour left, and I'm not entirely sure what else I can add to this. Like, I can sit down and add weird spacey sound effects and stuff, like pew pews. I could try playing with my my sweet little man here. This guy is cool. Sorry, you can't see. He's a little music note. And then you can. Oh, maybe the batteries are dead. That'd make me sad. So that would be fun to play with. Unfortunately, I realized that I don't really have good input for that because I don't have another XLR cable. I'm still not fully set up apparently. um, how would I be able to record that and get it in here? Well, let's see. Whoops. What note am I going for here? Oh, this guy's cool. And you can open his mouth, so it like changes the tone. I think that before I do that, I should just mess around with this spacey part. What I'm thinking about doing is just having this fade out. Yeah, and now I kind of regret not getting another audio cable for recording stuff, because like I could do countdown to launch in 3, 2, you know, like. Okay. There is. Which is a little bit janky, but you know, it'll do for the time being. And that is just using my portable recorder to just record some just stuff. Hopefully there are batteries in it that work. I think I replaced them recently. Yeah. So the first thing I want to do is and this is just stream of consciousness stuff, so I'm actually recording now, but whatever. I'm just trying to think of what exactly I can add. I'll do the animatron. I think that's what it's called, and I think I'll also do some basic, you know, Terminal B, shuttle to Mars, leaving in X minutes, or last call. Yeah, that's what I'll do. So when doing this stuff, I get really self-conscious because it's like I need to sound like I'm super bored and I'm talking over a PA because it's my job. So let's see. Last call for Terminal B. Last call for Terminal B. Let's try that again. Last call for Terminal B. Last call for Terminal B. Shuttle to Mars. And then I'll just mess around with this and see if I can get anything. So I'm going to click the button for when I start. Actually, I'll click the button right here. Not that this really needs to be synced with anything. And I'll try to place this in a way where I can just record everything. Really, it doesn't matter if this is time sync. I'm going to move around here. And that might not work. I can just do some spacey sounds like. there was a super cool video where I first saw this thing, and it's like, oh, I have to have this. And then it's one of those things where it's really difficult to play. I mean, clearly. It's cool to hang around. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to record for like a PA, and I don't think so. But I'm going to do another. Last call for boarding on Terminal B. Last call for boarding on Terminal B. Shuttle to Mars. Shuttle to Mars. It feels like I'm narrating something, and even though it might sound okay. Last call. Oh, what am I talking about? I have to sneeze. Maybe not. Last call for Terminal B. Last call for Terminal B. Shuttle to Mars. So, one of those has got to work. So now this. Yep. Oh, I've got a lot of crap in here. So this is a weird way of doing it. I wish I had had the forethought, whatever. Hey, dirt. I almost called you Dirtball. Oh, you're right, Devious. It does have to be more melodic. So it's like last call for Terminal B. But you see, I want them to sound super bored. But I guess people at airports, like the normal announce, I don't go to airports very often. So I'm going to try it again. And I'll see which one sounds better. Last call for Terminal B. Last call for Terminal B. Shuttle to Mars. And I mean, that's going to be processed anyway. So it's like, it's going to, I'm going to be cutting out probably the lows and some of the highs and adding the filter and all that other stuff. I hope you're doing okay today, Furball. I haven't seen anybody in the chat today, which is okay. It happens. So I've got all these weird ass noises. Really, it doesn't matter. Okay, that was. And really, I think it's just the last ones. And that might not work. I can just do some spacey sounds like. Yeah, and those are the ones I think I was looking for. The warbly ones I don't think are going to fit. So. That thing's so cool. So, and then there's this. Whoops, there's this. Last call for Terminal B. Last call for Terminal B. Shuttle to Mars. Yeah, Furball, you're right. You got me. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to run it through a Redux. Just a little. Not downsample it as much as bit reducing it. And bit reduction doesn't exactly make it chiptune sounding. It acts as kind of a compressor to some degree. Last call for... Yeah, see? It's getting there. And then I need to run an EQ8 through it and get rid of a lot of the lows. Definitely shelf the lows to make sure that they don't get out of control. Last call for Terminal B. Last call for Terminal B. Shuttle to Mars. Yeah. See, look at that. It's like magic. Last call for... Yeah, so I'm going to just have this here, which will give this an excuse to have another bar. I don't know why that's there, but I might as well just dip that over. Join. So I'm going to bring that down. I'm going to push it over to like the right side, like the right speaker, just because that's more of environmental effect. So pushing it over to one side and not having it dead center makes it feel like, you know, to soundboard. Yeah, no, Furball, you're right, but I think the melodic way was a way better doing it, because it's like I'm not trying to be comedic about it. I'm just trying to be like, you know, this is what they do every day. I'm gonna actually mess with time signatures again. I don't like how long that wait is. And these time signature changes aren't meant to be like super fancy or anything. They're just there for my sanity. Because this is roughly 7 beats long, and I want to keep it that way. Okay, and another thing I noticed is this actually has to have the highs boosted, because right now it's a little muted. Last call for terminal B. There you go. Last call for terminal B. Shuttle to Mars. So this added a little bit of weirdness to it, which is cool. And then with these little sound effects, I'm thinking basically I just crank on the reverb. I add some delay to it, not a ton, but definitely enough to give it a little bit more character. And I'm just going to EQ it because really we just want the high frequencies, so I don't even know what this will sound like. Oh, that's like super perfect. And it'll last forever. Oh, it's so weird. It's like R2-D2. Except not really. So a lot of these I'm gonna just like modify a little bit. Some of these are perfect, like this one. Aside from its volume, it's perfect. I don't know. Messing around. This one, I like it, but it just needs to be like a higher pitch. I'm going to lower the volume on those. I'm just going to sprinkle these in. I'm not really paying attention to where I'm putting them at the moment, but that might change once I hear them. And I think spreading them out might help a little bit too. I don't want it right away, so I can move these around a little bit so they have a little bit more space between them. And that's the end, isn't it? So that's the end of that. And then I was just going to do a little bit of freeform piano to kind of round out the end. And I need a little bit of water first. And of course, stupid USB thing is still plugged in. That's the main reason why I drain almost all the batteries of the handheld devices that I own is I forget to turn them off after I plug them into my computer to take the data off of them. So, like I was saying, I have I want to make some ambient music on the stream, not on a 2-hour track thing, just on the stream in general, because I have these really, really nice binaural, whatever, microphones. They're very, very nice, and I have not had much of a chance to play with them. And I think it would be fun to like run around the house and grab a bunch of samples of things, and then just kind of see if I can make a song. I don't know how that happened. Oh, because I hit spacebar. Because I'm a genius. So, I guess I should listen to all these little effects and see what they sound like. I'm going to put an auto pan in these. A fairly significant one, too, because I kind of want them to be at the edges, but sometimes not. You can also raise the volume a little bit then. One thing I noticed is the piano taking up a lot of this 500 to maybe 1100 range. Last call for Terminal B, Shuttle to Mars. So I can actually scoop out so this makes the piano a little bit easier to punch through the mix. So I'm gonna let that play out, and then really all I want to do is see, I should have. Well, that's interesting. So okay, and from there I want to move upwards. Like, I like the idea of moving downwards first. You get this descending feel. But then the top end's been staying consistent the entire time. But the bottom end moves up and the top end moves down. So you go from this to this. Okay. So like I can't just having ascending forever. Um I think at this point it might just be beneficial to record something and see what I can do from there. I'm just trying to think of like the end game for this, like where I want it to end. Okay. So give it a bar. And I'm not going to follow the metronome anymore. I'm just going to do whatever. Oops. Okay, so that's a pretty good start. I'm not doing anything specific here. I'm just messing around with chords, trying to figure it out. The turn between the 6 and like the, what would it be, like the 3 of 5 or something? The 6 between this and this. I don't know if I want to keep the top one, so it would be. We'll see. Okay. No, I'm screwing it up now. And this is why I don't record live. Or why I don't record while streaming, because it usually takes me like 1,000 takes to do anything useful. Okay. So I like how that sounded, but I'm just going to re-record it because there was too many mistakes that I felt like could be done better. And mistakes could be removed, not doing the mistakes better. I'm just trying to figure out, like, how does this end? Because right now it just, like, it seems like it just keeps ascending until it disappears, which, you know, it would not be a bad metaphor in relation to the title of the track. So yeah, that could work. So I mean, it'll get up here. Yeah, okay, so it's a little cheesy, but you know, what are you gonna do? At least I won't end on the chord, I'll just end on fifths. That could work. Okay, well, I'll give this another try. Let's see what happens. Oy. Well, I can't take as long as I like. I can take 38 minutes and 5 seconds. But yes, no, I appreciate what you say. I feel self-conscious when I'm recording stuff live just because, you know, I'm not perfect, like, you know, who is. Um, and honestly, I think it's important to watch people make mistakes and learn how they recover from those mistakes and, you know, just how they deal with handling that. So I don't feel like it's bad. I just feel like it's embarrassing sometimes, you know. That turn, I'm not used to that. I'm not used to that. So I'm going to just keep trying. And doing this over and over is actually helping me because I'm starting to build at least a little bit of a sub melody that can play through all of this. And I think that's important too, even if it's just subtle. Try that again. No, it doesn't work that way. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Getting closer. Oh my god. Now I start getting frustrated. That's the best part, right? That's what all those rage videos, people like those, right? Start punching my microphone and like throw my computer out a window and then have to dig it out of the snow and it's probably broken because it melted all the snow around it and people like emotions on the internet. I just wish it was the right emotions. Okay, why am I getting this wrong? so I have to like, okay. Take a break. Take a little second to figure your shit out, Ben. Oh, it does not help. I'm super sore from shoveling. I got 30 minutes to play this. And if I had time to practice and all this other stuff, yeah, I could nail it right away. But most of my piano knowledge, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, comes from just improv and just doing stuff that I feel at the moment. So it's like, it's difficult to like process a song and try to replicate it exactly the same every time. And that's kind of what I'm running into right now. I'll get it. It's that timing, because I want that, which is super pretty, just because of the octave difference, but I want to get it right. Okay. Thank you, Furball. Does it start here? Okay, so there's a little bit of work to be done to clean this up, and I feel that that shouldn't be too bad. Ugh, eyeballs. And I do additionally, I want to just bolster the root note with the pad that I've been using. However, I want to do that after I fix this up. So let's fix this up. And the problem with doing this and like fixing it after the fact is that you've got all of these pedals that you have to make sure are still in the right place. Okay, so this can actually go right here. Okay. There it is. Make sure this carries over. Hey, dirty toilet seat, how you doing? I am writing music. The challenge that was given to me this week was to write a song in the major key and it kind of turned up being this weird spacey ambient thing, and I am ending on a little piano bit, and it's being a little problematic, but I think I nailed most of it. Yeah, so there's a little bit of a flub here that I need to chop out. Another thing that I like about general just video stuff is being able to watch people's processes. Thanks, buddy. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, so that gap is still too big. So I gotta push that to like right there. And I'm gonna have to remerge this and then okay. Yeah. So like from a thematic point of view, this is like the rocket ship blasting off into space or whatever. Okay, so this actually needs to be right here. Okay. I don't know. I kind of feel like it's a bit cheesy. But you know, whatever. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just do a little bit of a backing track with this, and it'll be freeform. Well, once I actually do it right, let's give myself a little bit of a lead in. Oh, right. I repeat that twice there. Come on, record. You got this. Okay, so I added a couple extra notes in there that I need to fix, but that's no problem. For one, I feel like a lot of these notes got a little too close together. Yep, there's that seventh. I love that. And then I totally messed this one up. Okay, and then I'm just gonna slowly bring down the volume for all this, because once the chords start getting in, this gets a little bit louder. And really, I want the piano to not get drowned out. So I'm just going to go like this. Slowly bring it down over time. And then I'll just completely bring it out here, because the song's over. Easy, easy. Um, I'm not gonna add the bass. I'm not gonna add the arpeggio. I don't really want to add the space sounds. So I don't know. This might be a shorter challenge overall, which there's nothing wrong with that. I'll just give it a full listen to and see if anything pops out. Still don't know what else pops and clicks around. I want to edit that a little bit. I feel like it doesn't sound like it's coming over a PA. And I want it to sound like it's coming over a PA. So I'm gonna do a little bit of work on this. I think. What am I doing? It's with the Q. There we go. This gives it a little bit more of like a telephone feel. That's weird. It's a weird way of setting up that EQ, but that's better. That's better. Well, that's something. Um, I like it. I mean, I don't hate it. It's very pretty. Not really what I was expecting to write today, but I honestly, like I said at the start of this, I had no idea what I was going to write today. Like I I don't do well with major chords or like major scales, and I know it's something that I should work on more. I feel like part of it is because I spent a lot of my early music writing. Like I really don't want to say career because I was not even close to releasing albums or anything then. But like when I started releasing or starting writing music, it was all in the major key because that's all I knew. And I think I got it all out of my system way back then, and I have a hard time of doing it now. It might also just be that I just am inexperienced with it, and I need to spend more time learning how to do it. And it's definitely an acquired skill, and I think that's part of the reason why this composition quest log exists, so I can continue um, working on that kind of stuff. And so yeah, I'm going to save this, and I will render it and export it when the timer's up. But I'm thinking that seeing as I have like 15 minutes left, I can try doing another one here that's really short. It's called Game Over. Create an awesome game over theme that lasts less than 10 seconds in length. That's less than 10 seconds, but whatever. Any longer would just be rubbing it in. So I can try to make a game over theme real quick. And actually, where the hell? Might as well use this. Ba, 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 ba. So this is FamiTracker. This is what I use to write chiptunes. And I think that I can probably whip something up pretty quick. Maybe. I don't know. Actually, I'm just going to leave it as an empty instrument. I can do all the weird stuff. So, I mean, the thing that immediately comes to mind is just the what? Oh, thank you, Furball. I definitely plan on using these other pieces like whenever this comes up or whenever a project comes up that I feel it would be appropriate. Um, so the whole, and I mean, it would be really simple, but I can mess with this. Yeah, I do want to continue keeping an open eye out for projects that could use these songs. Like, obviously, depending on licensing and whatever, I either can and can't use them. But I feel that I do really want just to make music again, just for myself. The last year, 2015, was just a big mess for working for myself. Like I don't think I did many projects that was just for me. Um, so I want to kind of get back into that, and if for some reason some of the stuff that I make can be used in other projects, I definitely want to make that accessible for people. So what I'm doing here is I'm just making a very simple game over sound effect. What I'm doing is I'm thinking maybe like have like some kind of sound effect here and then have the actual song play. I don't need this here. So FamiTracker is a very, very different beast than Ableton. Oh, this is a little bit more fun. Not that the other one wasn't fun, but it's just it was a thing. I'm actually going to turn this down to 32 rows. So 64 will work. So I want to bring this up. I want to pitch bend it. And then I wanted to get it super wobbly, so I'm going to make it... I think it's... I don't remember all the commands, unfortunately, so let me just try to solo this. There we go. It's fun to do Famine Tracker stuff. And then just... oops. Yeah. But have that go faster because it's just going to end right there. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring this up a bar. Boop, boop. And then I'll have more time to mess around with stuff. But I think it's just going to end right here. And then this should be a little bit less. This 464, the 4 denotes that it's doing vibrato. And 6, I believe, is how fast, and the second 4 is how far. So it's defining the attenuation and the frequency. Oh, right, because it's muted. And then I'll just duplicate this over here. Whoop. And what I'm thinking is having a little bit more movement to it. B, there we go. Okay, so what this is doing is it's creating a little bit more, and this what I'm doing in this column right here, this FCA, I'm setting the volume, and this runs in hexadecimal, so it goes 0 to F, and F is essentially 16. So this is going 16, 14, 11, and this is the volume for these those notes. And the S denotes cutting off the note a little early, so like wait X number of frames and then chop the note off. So these don't last the entire frame. I know this is probably more information than anybody really needs, but I do have extensive training of Famine Tracker if anybody really wants to get into it. Good stuff. 5 minutes. That was not bad. I don't like how loud the things are here. And I also don't like how wiggly they are. So I'm going to bring this up. So with the noise channel, rather than having an instrument, it's essentially just in hexadecimal, and that just depends on the frequency of the noise. Like the low end stuff, the 0 to, like this is. So you get different frequencies of noise. And if you do it right, you get some pretty cool sounds. Okay, and then for the top part here, I'm just thinking of making some weird like stuttery, like, oh, you got hit and died, blah blah blah. Nope, I'm hitting the wrong buttons. So this is boop. I don't know if this is going to work, but only one way to find out. So I can't like have an echo channel, or I can't have an echo effect, so I have to basically add the same notes in over and over and over and just manually lower the volume. So the first one is CE8, so I'm going to make it like A, C7, 8, A5, and I'm doing the wrong one because I'm a genius. 3C8, 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 yeah, so. Wait, what? AC7, C8, 5. There we go. And then okay, so I do C, A, 8, 6, E, C. This is really boring, I'm sorry. E, C, A, 8, and then 8, 7, 5, 3. I'll make that 4, and I'll make this last one a 1. It's not really the notes that I wanted. This is too high. Then I just made it higher because I'm smart. Okay. So it's 3-8B, 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 3-8B. Whoop. Interesting. That's as low as it goes. I think I can set like a manual pitch bend to go lower. Maybe not. Maybe that's as low as it goes. Yeah, it seems that way. I want to lower the volume. So C, A, 5, 3. This is too loud. This is the one that's too loud. So I'm actually just going to do C, 9, 6, 4. F, F, and then A2, have that fade out. A is fade. So if you do A, that's telling it to fade. The first number is in, the second number is out. So 0, 2 means fade out, and 2, 0 would mean fade in. And like everything, you have to make sure to cancel that once it's done, because otherwise it was fading all these out every time too, so you have to cancel it. It's kind of like programming in some way. I guess I should save this, huh? 2-hour track Sunday. It's not Sunday, Wednesday. Game over. Brownie face. Damn it. Brownie face emo. Take that, computer. Do what I want. Oh, it doesn't like those either. Hope I didn't just crash it. There we go. Good enough. So, yeah, 4 minutes left. I'm going to pull these out for another 2 bars because it's cutting it short. Good enough. So I realized I didn't mix and master the other song, so I'm going to do that super quick. So create wave, play one song, brownie face emoji. Done. So mixing and mastering for this. Probably should have done this before I got super sidetracked, but whatever. This one's usually pretty easy just because there isn't a whole lot to it. The one thing that I noticed is that usually the bass is too loud when I play these again. So I'm going to make sure, I'm going to make sure that the bass is pretty compressed. Watch your ears. I don't know how loud this is going to be. No, it's totally fine. See, with this updated setup, it should be a lot easier for me to manage volumes once I get used to it. Someday. So. Okay. I had to turn off the microphone because I was turning on my speakers, and I don't want those both at the same time. So feedback loop. Last call for Terminal B, Shuttle to Mars. See how much frequency the bass is taking. All this and a little bit of that. Cool. Very cool. I dig it. So, I think we're done here. We did some pretty cool stuff today. Despite my efforts to kind of screw it all up, not knowing what I was doing. So yeah. Thank you, Furball, for sticking around and offering some really good advice on both voice acting and just generally, song stuff. And Dirty Toilet Seat, if you're still around. Your username's very weird, but I appreciate you sticking around and listening and saying the song sounds great. I really appreciate that. Aside from that, my alarm's going to go off, so I should probably stop that. Boop. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. Like I said at the start of the stream, I was actually super worried about this one because I don't do major scales very often, and it's definitely something that I need to work on, especially in a constrained challenge environment like this, where you don't have a whole lot of time, and I didn't really plan, and I didn't want to do something super cheesy and dumb. Yep, could have done that. That would have been perfect. So yeah, really appreciate it. And I guess that's all I have. If you need to, I don't know where I was going with that. Feel free to follow me on YouTube and social media like Twitter. The fields have been showing up in the bottom here, but I'll pop them up again. Sweet. So Ben_Burns for Twitter and YouTube. I'm still trying to figure out the right URL for that. Changing your URL on YouTube is a nightmare. And it used to be Bfusion, which was my old moniker, but now it's I'm just going to go with Ben Burns or Abstraction if I can. So plus Ben Burns works because that just links to my Google Plus account. Thumbs up. Yeah, that's all I've got. I really appreciate everybody for sticking around, and I'm going to work on posting these out to SoundCloud and YouTube. So, you guys have a great night. Thank you very much for sticking around, and I will talk to you later.